Me.
I've seen a million faces.
Maybe you're infected with rock and roll.
Them all.
On a steel horse I ride.
Fucking want it.
Dead or alive.
That's exactly how my little brother would have sang it in 1986.
Oh. This is just kind of like the soundtrack to driving around on a Saturday night looking for nerds to beat up.
Hi.
Go back to Jersey.
What was the name of their box set? It was like our fans are always right or something.
I don't know.
I'm gonna look that up.
I know the greatest hits was called like Crossroads or something.
Oh, it was like 10,000 people can't be wrong or something. Some pretentious.
10,000, huh?
That's a good word for it.
10,000 can't possibly be wrong.
Was that how many faces he rocked?
A million.
What was,
Now he's seen 1,000 faces.
They have 10,000 albums.
And rocked them all. Alright. I got this. 1986. This album went on the road with me and my brother and my mom. So Ben is going to have to listen to this episode. I'm throwing down the gauntlet. Benjamin, my baby brother, must listen to this podcast. There it is.
I went to see them in concert and they canceled it and then we had to go back. They came back. I had to sit on those tickets and like not lose it for like... And you know, when you're a teenager, it's like, where am I going to put this where I won't lose it?
Welcome to Talking Over Albums. It's now numberless. But in case you're curious, it's episode 26. So we're doing the one we've been building up to this entire time.
Bon Jovi.
Slippery When Wet.
It's a new era now. And then he farted.
Okay, no, I want to finish my story.
Okay, you tell a story. That's a good introduction. Go for it.
Okay. So in 1986, there was a road trip. We went from California to Illinois to visit family.
Well, that sucks.
We visited family along the way as well. There was a stop in Vegas where there was a very large water park, and there was a lengthy stop in Albuquerque where there were family members. That was really boring.
Did you take a left turn at Albuquerque?
A mouse died along the way. There was a pet mouse.
What does this have to do with Ani DeFranco?
It is nothing. But we took turns being who's in charge of the music. Every hour, you got to, somebody new got to pick radio station or an album or whatever.
Was that your mom's idea?
Probably.
All right.
She liked egalitarian things like that.
Okay.
So I basically always picked, Lisa and Gold Jam or Culture Club. Maybe some Erasure. I don't know. It's too early for Erasure. Ben always picked either this album or David Lee Roth, Eat 'em and Smile.
Ew.
Yes, I have both of these albums memorized backwards to frontwards. It's ridiculous. I've heard them all so many times.
It's always funny when you're working and you start singing along with an album that's not playing. It's like, I know every track listening. I even know the gap between the songs, how long it was.
And as I recall, my mom's album that she always played when it was her turn was probably Graceland and I Dream of the Blue Truffles.
Oh, baby, I'm easy, I'm easy.
She has a good taste in music.
You all do.
So what's more poetic? Slippery When Wet or Eat 'em If You Got 'em? What's it called?
Eat 'em if you got 'em. It's Eat 'em and Smile.
It's pretty much, it's like
John Bon Jovi.
It's like Spinal
really
Tap
hit
Smell
his,
the Glove.
Mm-hmm.
This is their breakthrough whatever album. This was the one that like everybody went bat crazy over.
Because it's not their first album.
I would assume it was
No.
I would assume it was some kind of not subtle innuendo, but the album cover is just a greasy smudge stain on a window.
Is it? Because I remember the album cover having like a caution sign on it.
Right. That was the tape.
You're thinking Men at Work. But
That's possible.
Or maybe this was like an alternative cover. The previous one maybe got banned because it was a picture.
No, she's right. There was a yield, like not a yield sign, a slippery when wet sign.
Was it too risque?
Yeah, too much raindrops.
No, because the title of this makes me think of like the original cover was like like a greased up carrot, like it's slipping out of a woman's hands.
Oh, you're talking about something else, I think.
All right.
Slippery When Wet was like, that's when they started getting on like all the radio. So, because they had a couple of like little regional hit type things before this, but
yeah, it's got their 3 songs on it. Well, 3 of the 4. The fourth being "It's My Life, It's Now or Never." I guess they also had what was the one that was basically.
I think sold. Somebody told me once the album after this, New Jersey, sold even more copies, but
it's the same dingy cover. They really like gray smudge.
Wouldn't people from everybody in New Jersey legally had to buy New Jersey?
What was the song they did that was
the rejected cover that was used in Japan?
I figured. Yeah.
He knows about the banana squirt.
So what? What was the song that was like the sequel to Dead or Alive?
Oh, yeah, that's one on the next album.
It was like on Young Guns or something. It was that
Blaze of Glory.
Oh,
yeah.
Blaze of Glory. All right, ready to start unless anyone else.
All right, you're ready to start. Go for it.
I just want to say before we start, hate you, John Bon Jovi. Here's Let It Rock.
Let It Rock. This is how they started the concert out, too, by the way. It was pretty funny because there wasn't anybody playing a synthesizer anywhere, so I don't know where that came from.
Sweet rock organ.
Some guy under the stage who looks like the Hunchback of Notre Dame playing the synthesizer.
Sounds like the beginning of One Vision.
Okay, the cover art in question, they, according to Wikipedia, it was rejected at executives' orders at the last minute because they thought it was too sexist. And I'm sorry,
What's
I gotta
wrong
say,
with
in
being
1986,
sexy?
I don't buy it. So who was worried about that people wouldn't buy the album over a sexist cover in 1986?
Yeah, I don't know.
You've seen Spinal Tap? They pretty much hit the nail on the head with every rock trope.
Whoa!
Like, sorry, we reject.
He likes to do that a lot. He likes to say "whoa" a lot.
Oh yeah.
Whoa!
Whoa! Yeah. When Nigel Tufnell says, "What's wrong with being sexy?" Like, no, sexist.
What?
I see where that wouldn't fly today, but we're talking 30 years ago. I don't buy it.
That's the least risque cover that has a woman's chest on it that I've ever seen.
I don't want to be too graphic, but it's not like there were nipples or anything. It was just boobs in a t-shirt.
Just a few years later, they had a.
If you weren't wearing 6-inch pumps with ankle socks, you just were nowhere, man.
It was Black Crowes, Amorica with the woman's pubes.
Yeah, that was
wearing like the American flag bikini with their pubes popping out over the top of it. That's classy.
Yeah.
Cool.
See? Those were some very, very conservative executives.
Listen to that. They put all the reverb on the snares. It's beautiful. It sounds like you're playing drums in a cave. That's the 80s. Was it Def Leppard who started that? Who was the first person who just put a ton of reverb on drums? Because
I would go with somebody in the 70s.
Yeah, because you started to get the arena rock 70s thing. But that was mostly the sound. It wasn't they weren't trying to recreate the sound of being in an arena. Really. It was just like making big music, not necessarily. Because if you pulled the plug on this,
you had to make thin songs sound more full, right? You had to like do things to make it like there's really not a lot going on here. We have to do something to punch it up a little bit.
So go ahead and tell your story.
Which one?
Album order. Album order. Album order.
Declarative song.
Oh, yeah. This is what they open their concert with. That's what they always do. They always have some song that they... The first time I realized it was when I went and saw Aerosmith for Permanent Vacation, and they opened with the first song on their album, Permanent Vacation, which I was like, it was called, I have to look it up, like Heart's Done Time or something like that, and it didn't fit, but it was really high energy, and then they just played all their hits, and I was just like, so you just made this song to get everybody pumped up right at the beginning. And then I started noticing everybody has a song that they play when their concert starts that gets everybody all... And sometimes it's a new song, sometimes it's an old song, but it's always something that, like, gets everybody off their seats and excited about everything. Because you want to get everybody up. Because if you can get up for like 3 songs, they'll probably stay up the rest of the time. And they're going to like it better, because people don't want to, like... Sting's the only person I ever saw in concert that just started out with, okay, everybody sit down and mellow out and, like,
once that you
calm
decided
down
on a killing.
We're going to start out with a sitar.
Last week, when they started their show with a cover.
We're going to start out with a sitar version of Walking on the Moon.
It's a good way to start it. I mean, it's not like they have a huge amount of songs, so...
Yeah, but they had other songs that got everybody going. They didn't need to do that.
I liked it.
Who?
I mean, they did a great cover, but it was just strange.
Culture Club.
Culture Club's first song out the gate was a Bowie song.
All right, here's...
It's weird.
Here
Ooh.
Success. Actually, I'm just asleep already. You give love a bad name.
Yeah, as declarative songs go,
we have to have a commercial first.
Let It Rock.
Everybody hold for commercial.
The best declarative song I've ever heard as the first
Vaporizing Grub.
You get the crowd a thumping. It's
right?
all about the communal experience. Get the women worked up.
Oh yeah, hair metal bands were definitely about getting you pumped up for a while, and then bringing you down, and then yeah.
So the bassist can come to the edge of the stage and thrust his crotch into your face. And you're like, yay!
I mean, everybody wants some crotch in their face, right?
The only person I would accept that from would be David Lee Roth.
If I could still see David Lee Roth in concert, I would totally go.
I mean, I gotta say, this type of music is pretty much the antithesis of my existence. I don't like it.
Yeah, and I think you're crazy because it's fun.
I'm gonna enjoy this very much.
Fun is fun. Why don't you like fun?
Yeah.
Shot to the heart and you're to blame. Oops.
The problem is I've never been rowdy, so this doesn't speak to me in any way.
Well, now I'm like the definition of the accountant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when you look up counting up in the dictionary.
Rowdy.
When you look at counting up in the dictionary, there's a picture of Chris and who's that old guy, Warren Buffett? It's like, here's the money side, here's the worker side.
Yeah, there you go. That's about right.
I will say this is already 100 times better than Poison, so I'll give it that.
Sorry, Brett.
We're going to talk about like the legacy of hair metal, because it has a super niche audience for the most. I mean, at the time it was popular, but like now it seems like it's more and more of a like niche subgenre of like classic rock. I'm like, okay, what's the legacy of this type of music?
Well, I think you had to have a different thing, because there were, as I recall it, and I could be wrong, but there was people who really liked rap and grabbed right onto it. And then there was everybody else who was standing around going, well, I don't get this. I don't live in an inner city. I don't get what you're talking about. I had friends that just grabbed onto it and loved it, but I had other friends that were like, I don't get it. I want something more musical. And this was like your other choice.
Oh, so this is 86. Was that What was the Poison album we did? What year was that? That was 89.
That was...
wasn't it?
No, that was 80.
87 or 88.
We've done a lot of 1986 albums. Why is this?
There's way more albums that were good in 86 and 88 and 89 than there were in 82 or 85.
Right. It's like there's little increments. Yeah.
Yeah, we've done a lot.
Everybody was doing their crappy follow-up album.
A lot of things came out in 78, 81. Yeah, and you have to think about like the bands that you know now. They would like put out an album and then tour with it for like 2 years.
Yeah.
So it was like
because the internet didn't exist.
Yeah, some people would come back and throw out an album every. Like for instance, Prince. It's like when he got going after Purple Rain, he started throwing stuff out really fast, and you're like. What album is this now? Like
you guys, it's breaking it down.
Oh yeah, I gotta break it down.
Play your game, you give love.
We're here to rock your face.
Okay, but I question the premise. Is Bon Jovi a hair band?
Bad name.
Not really.
Are they a metal band? Are they just pop? Or are they hair?
They're a heavier rocking pop group. That was always my.
It's a hair band.
Okay. I'm defining terms is all.
I don't really put them into that category because they never did like super sleazy stuff.
Because Poison's clearly
they weren't
a hair
like,
band.
hey, I'm slapping asses and doing cocaine. Come here, bitches.
Well, that was more like
Bon Jovi was a little bit.
That was more like the
rock.
LA thing. It's like
living on a prayer.
Oh.
Like Poison was from Pennsylvania, and yet they were more like an LA type of band. I mean, just the sound.
Oh, they were known as an LA band, though.
Right.
Them and Guns N' Roses, that's what came out of LA in that time period.
Mm-hmm. And these guys were East Coast all the way through.
Yeah.
I mean,
like the songs are about
that's
this one.
It's hair band from the East Coast. That's the difference that I'm like making in my head.
So I'll compliment both these. Just living on a prayer. So I'll compliment both these songs that they're excellent, well constructed pop rock songs.
Not so.
And I really have no problem with them. It's just it doesn't float my boat. Mostly because I've heard them way too many times, but
yeah, see that's
also
the thing.
because I hate Bon Jovi.
Living on a Prayer. The only reason you don't like it is because you've heard it too many times. Other than that, it's a perfect song, which is why you've heard it too many times.
Probably. I think his finest.
It's a really good song. It's well written. The lyrics go with the arrangement. Like it's put together well as a construction, as a composition. It's done really well.
Yes. Totally agree.
Down to what we got. And it's got a message everybody can get on board with, man.
Because, I mean, if, like, Poison was considered one of the better groups, then there must have been just a sea of garbage.
No, they weren't. They weren't considered one of the better groups. It was just like, they came through.
They were popular.
Yeah, they did really well for the 6 months of that album.
Shall we discuss John Bon Jovi's finest work?
Like me and a lot of my friends couldn't stand Skid Row, and they were huge. And they were basically just rip-offs of Bon Jovi. Like, that first album is just a total rip-off of everything. They just did Bon Jovi, basically. But they were more like a California band.
But his finest work on Ally McBeal... when he was basically like a walking corpse on the show. He's like, "Hey, Ally McBeal,
are you talking about the baby? How
is it going?
Dancing baby. That looks like a dead baby somebody's propped up."
I kind of want to watch Was it funny? Because I never hear anybody bring it up even in like a nostalgic kind of way.
No, the people that watch it, and then it's gone, and they're on to the next thing. Oh, now Parenthood. Oh, now.
They're watching Girls now.
They're watching This Is Us.
I remember.
And then 5 years from now, people will be like going, what? I never watched that. Did I watch that? Oh, I guess I watched that.
I remember.
Right, it was the adult coming-of-age story.
Ew. I remember I would catch parts of episodes, and the only thing I liked was talk show host lady's wife Portia de Rossi.
Oh.
Because I thought she was
Arrested
smoking
Development
hot.
lady.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always thought Ellie McBeal was awfully skinny. I was like, how is she a sex symbol? What's going on?
For the longest time, I hated her because I blamed her for the decline of Harrison Ford. I thought she was a succubus.
I liked what's her name from 30 Rock.
The American
Jenna.
Portia de Rossi.
Jenna.
Wait,
what's
Portia
her
de
name?
Rossi is American. What am I talking about? Never mind.
Yeah, that's not even her name. She's Jewish. What was the one that's
Jenna.
like, what?
Her name is Jenna.
It is?
Spanky.
All right.
Here's
No.
social disease.
Crap, that's not her name.
Social disease. I don't know what her name is.
This is sponsored by Maybelline.
I've had
New
exactly
York.
enough wine to not remember her name.
Hello, baby. Oh, social
You gotta have some of this shit.
disease. Is this where they're getting?
You know, this reminds
Political.
me, now that we're listening to this, if you really want to hear some...
Jane
But
Krakowski.
you can't eat it.
Oh, I love her.
Her name
yeah.
is Jane Krakowski. It's not Jenna.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, hold on. I'm doing a shout out. Hey Nathan, where are you, son of a? You're supposed to be here reading the lyrics to this. Why do you hate our podcast?
And this song, it's really funny how, like, when it started out with the hair metal bands, Rat was one of the first ones. And I personally feel like all of the songs on the Rat's first album, Out of the Cellar, like, everybody else, that's their filler songs. And that was the that got on the radio on their album. And, like, so things improved a lot in, like, just a few years.
We're finally doing the album, and you're not even commenting on the album order.
What? I just did.
You've brought up this.
This is like their filler, and this would have made it on the radio if it had been 2 years before.
I think they just.
Something about a disease?
I totally recognize they're competent, and like this is fun. If we could turn it up louder, but we can't for the podcast because you have to be able to talk. But if you could crank this up, and everyone was like had champagne and was wearing gloves,
Yes.
and was like
Glitter. Don't forget the glitter.
yeah, it'd be awesome. But like
Body glitter? Lots of glitter. Just all the glitter.
Yeah, this just doesn't. My personality I just want to sleep all the time. So I just think of like David Lee Roth shaking his ass in my face, and some woman puking on my shoes, and then like cocaine getting blown into my face.
That's totally what this song is.
It's not really
What's it called? Social
my idea of a good time. Social distortion.
Social
No.
distortion.
That can't be correct.
No, that's where they got their name, honey. From a Bon Jovi song.
Yeah, they got their name from a Bon Jovi.
Social disease. Bon Jovi's a social disease.
I got a bad case of Bon Jovi. Can somebody give me a shot? Can I get somebody give me a shot?
I've noticed, like, editing the last few podcasts, I have not filler belled in a while. It's weird. Like, this is about to get it. It's getting close. Did he say something about double D's?
Of course.
Damn it! I wish someone had the lyrics.
Nobody that sang it as a lyric knew what
You
a
got
double
the
D
lyrics.
even looked like. But
yes, I have the lyrics.
Social disease.
Love is a social disease.
I do like the horns. It gives it a little depth.
class, it's
Not-
classy now because it's got horns.
Not class, but like a little bit of depth and something interesting going on rather than just shredding metal guitar, power chord, shredding metal.
Did we get rid of the
That's not a good filler bell. I need a real bell.
Did we get rid of the
Where did our
cavernous
bell-
drums
where
on
did our
this
bell
song? I feel like we got rid of the
Damn it.
cavernous drums.
Well, I'm a little late, but here's the lyrics.
Just find the raunchiest lyrics.
Dr. Bon Jovi, report to emergency. How's that for raunchy?
Here's wanted. Wanted.
I can't live with it, but you'll die without it. Yes, you would.
I thought he said something extra raunchy in there at some point.
Oh, yeah. Wanted, dead, or alive.
You call 911, but you can't stop the fun tonight.
Did I get that right? Yeah, this is
poking.
Wanted, Dead, or Alive.
Yeah, that's great. That
He
sweet
steals a lyric from Bruce.
12-string or
Springsteen right
dobro
here.
or whatever.
You can't start a fire without a spark.
Maybe that's a Jerseyism.
I guess.
They're like, hey, I don't know. What's
You can't start a fire without a spark.
You can't hide,
What's the
hide
New
when
Jersey
infection
accent?
starts.
Oh, wait.
That's how he meant. That's how he rhymed it.
You can't hide when an infection starts.
You can't start a fire without a spark, but there's something I guarantee. You can't hide when an infection starts, because love is a social disease.
I think you said when when an infection starts. Like, ew.
I'm infected. Come and have sex with me.
I've seen a million faces.
Maybe you're infected with rock and roll.
Them all.
On a steel horse I ride.
Fucking want it.
Dead or alive.
That's exactly how my little brother would have sang it in 1986.
This is why I love the outlet, having this outlet of the podcast, is I can regurgitate a lot of my Facebook posts. One of my favorite jokes was John Bon Jovi on his deathbed, like his last dying words were, "Those faces, I didn't really rock them all."
Alright, now you guys got me reading the lyrics to Social Disease. It's really disturbing.
Is it better than
He's basically slut-shaming somebody. Were they tall,
You gotta look
dark,
this
skinny,
one
or
up.
handsome?
Is he drinking
You
a
won't
Bible
talk.
or not?
What?
Sometimes you tell the day by the Bible that you drink.
The
Yeah.
bottle that you drink, dummy.
He sounds like just saying Bible.
No.
The Bible that you drink.
Even the 13-year-old me that was listening to this originally
The
knew that
Bible
lyric.
that you drink.
I even got that right, and I suck at that.
I could grind up a Bible and snort it.
Yeah.
Drink it.
You can mix it in with your tea. You don't know.
So
The look on her face is priceless right now. I wish you could just go snap and go, this is the cover of this.
So in like trashy.
Are you retarded? No, I'm rhyming.
So with like trashy rock artists, did anybody top Sammy Hagar?
No one ever got trashier than Sammy Hagar.
All week I've been trying to think of that lyric where he's like, turn it over, slap it, and
What?
it's one of his stupid lyrics where he's like,
Oh.
bend it over, turn it over, slap it, or something. Where he's talking about like making food, but it's obviously about sex.
Oh my god.
It's not pound cake. It was one from.
Oh, wait.
It's not pound cake?
It was one from the Van Hagar album we did. Because I remember you saying it during the podcast where he's like, turn it over twice, let it marinate.
Oh yeah. Good enough.
Jesus.
Good enough to...
That sounds really disturbing. I'm glad I wasn't around for that podcast.
He has two songs that are...
Six.
He has two songs that are about like cooking food, but they're just about how to...
Is it a really deeply hidden innuendo?
No, it's very obvious innuendo.
Wanted!
Dead or alive.
This was the song where I realized Richie Sambora has a better voice than Bon Jovi, but Bon Jovi's the head of the band, so he gets to say.
Let me tell you about her spaghetti. As long as it sticks to the wall. Still going, huh? Lay your hands on me, lay your hands.
Which sounds an awful lot like a song you did later. What? Yeah, it gets kind of repeaty.
Here's another song.
Sometimes I wish that you could just go back in time and understand how devoid of music the world was. Like, now it's all condensed and you can go listen to everything. However,
rocks.
And I always think,
thank God,
man,
Brett,
you would understand, like, you had to make choices sometimes because what you had to pick from was really lousy sometimes.
I grew up on the tail cusp of that, and you still had to just go out and buy albums. So
take a chance.
It's like
you got to take a chance a lot of times.
I still remember that happening where I was like, this album sucks. Why did I have to pay for this whole thing?
Right.
But then,
I should be able to take it back.
But then, thank God, Napster came along.
And Pirate Bay. Remember Pirate Bay? You could just download a bunch of...
I mean, I know what it is, but I never used it. I was all of the Napster spin-offs. So it was like Napster, LimeWire, Morpheus. Yeah, there were all of these. Every time one got shut down, another one would come up.
Right.
It's like, sorry, the internet's a Pandora's box.
Is the music industry all that great, though? Because what we really want to do is if you like somebody, you'll go see them live. That's what you want to, that's the ultimate goal, right? Go see the people that you like.
75, 76, 70, mid-70s there. It's like the heyday of I hate my record company songs. There are so many, and half of them were the Kinks. Ray Davies, he did an entire album just based on the fact that he hated his record label. It was one of their better albums, the Lola and the Money Go.
Didn't Van Morrison do something like that too?
Yeah, that was his.
They made him do an album, like he owed them an album or something.
Yeah, the Bang Sessions, which I would like to do on here, but I don't think it'd be that interesting. It's only like 20 minutes long, but yeah, where he just got in front of a microphone, and yeah. Anyway, this song is a thing that's happening.
Raise your hands.
This would probably be really exciting.
Raise your hands.
If we were at the show.
Raise your hands.
It seems like a good get everybody moving again song.
I'll say that. It almost sounds like you can hear a concert going on down the street, sort of. Mm-hmm. And you're like, that sounds it might be.
You're saying raise your hands, and I'm going like this.
Here's Without Love. It's getting wholesome.
Oh, it's getting very Jersey up in here.
It's getting wholesome.
I hear synthetic bells ringing. Ding, 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 ding.
Oh yeah. Van Morrison's Bang Sessions. It's the most famous Getting Out of Your Contract album, where he just went in front of the microphone and improvised songs. One of them's called Ringworm.
Ringworm?
He got up on the microphone. He was drunk and pissed off and just started making up songs. There's nothing in anybody's contract that says it has to be good,
right?
Because you can't litigate quality. You can't. Your record company can't sue you and say we think he's up to this level of that he has to be at a certain level, and then the judge would make you prove. Okay,
right.
What's the minimum level of quality for this artist? So Prince did it too.
Jack White has no excuse. He was doing it on his own album.
It's all
on his own
shit.
record company.
Ooh, yeah. At one point, I would like to.
I love you, Jack White, but dude, that was mean.
At one point, I would like to do Prince's Come album. It's not the musically worst album he ever did. That goes to his Planet Earth album, which is his Jehovah's Witness album. But this is the most dour, him just totally phoning it in. Definitely him just I hate everything album.
I'm trying to get into this song. It's a little bit of a snooze.
Oh, can I use your...
Yeah. Where did our bell go?
Oh, hey, holy her boobs about to burst out of her shirt. Wow. Those are some impressive gazongas.
Who's that woman?
Ella King.
Yeah, you don't know who she is. She's just a pop person now.
Well, this is a short album, thank Jeebus. Here's another...
She's a little
I Die For You.
Away.
Wait, what song was that album on? The first?
The last one before that. Fahrenheit.
I like this from the album before it. The hardest part is the night. Great song title. Secret Dreams.
Well, that was
Runaway. That was on the first album.
That was when they were still just being Bruce Springsteen.
These are they're kind of devoid of ideas on their first album. It was Runaway, Roulette, She Don't Know Me, Shot Through the Heart, Love Lies, Breakout, Burning for Love, Come Back, Get Ready.
So 2 really good songs and a bunch of filler.
So
this album
took them a while to
at
get
least
going.
Four really good songs.
Is
Maybe more. I wasn't counting.
Is 7,800 Degrees
They started getting more looks when people started looking at all those bands in New Jersey after Springsteen in '84 did the Born in the USA thing, and then he hit wide. He wasn't just
he broke.
It wasn't just his fans anymore. It was like everybody was listening to Bruce Springsteen, and everybody went, "What else is going on?"
Bruce Springfield? Wait, what?
Bruce Springfield.
Again, think of my age at the time. Rick Springfield broke first, as far as I was concerned.
Rick Springsteen?
And then there was this.
Springfield.
There was this guy named Bruce something or other. I think his name might have been Springfield. I don't know. Oh, Springsteen, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like years later, I figured out. Oh, my parents had known him for years because it's not like he just came on the scene in '84.
Can you look up on the internet what
Yes.
what cooks at 7,800 degrees, or what is this the temp, like the boiling temperature of? Is that how you cook
That's the
John Bon
surface of the
Jovi?
sun.
Is it?
Is it?
So why is he wearing like a? Looks like he's wearing a. Oh, I thought he had like on a medieval.
Well, that's a vagina.
No,
It's on fire.
this song's boring as.
Okay, this song is not good.
Oh hey, in good news sector, there is no song 11 on this, so I can't hit like my absolute breaking point. I'm skipping this. This is boring.
All right, this album is a reference to the supposed melting point of rock. It's where rock melts.
Oh, clever. Why isn't there a song on there called "This is the Melting Point of Rock"?
It's American hot rock.
Oh, there's a song called "To the Fire," so maybe he references that in there where he says,
Ooh, and according to Wikipedia, these guys are hard rock glam metal. Just to clarify.
I think the problem is we listen to these at low volume, so it just sounds like elevator music.
Well, okay, this particular song is it's not good.
Because I admit, if this was some blaring volume, I'd be like, yay!
Okay, yeah, at concert volume, I'd be bouncing up and down and like I'd have my hands in the air about this.
But I think we just found out something, that listening to things at low volumes exposes their structural weaknesses.
Yeah. Because this is just kind of...
All right, sorry, Bon Jovi.
All right, what's this one?
I'm no longer...
Oh yeah,
Oh,
Never
my
Say
God.
Goodbye. Now, you can't diss this one. This is a really good song.
There were so many women shaking their money makers on
Honey,
the hood of a Corvette.
This bottle's my only friend.
Ooh, I like that little floaty synthesizer thing. This is just kind of like the soundtrack to driving around on a Saturday night looking for nerds to beat up.
Hey! I just realized what this is for. Like, this is like the last song that they play at the school dance in the 8th grade.
Yes.
I've
heard this song many, many times, but
goodbye.
not that this song sounds anything like it, but the guitar riff just makes me think of all by myself.
Be cool.
Ooh, I hope the last song's a total Bruce Springsteen ripoff. It's all you now.
Uh-oh. Guys, they've left me alone with the microphone.
You can say whatever you want.
I can say whatever I want.
He just fast forwards through you.
I know. I would be mad, but it's
Tell me how this ties into Ani DeFranco.
it's just so funny
She's
when
from
he
the
does
East
it.
Coast.
I like it. Never
Say goodbye. Never say goodbye. I would like to know the lyrics to this are now. No, you don't have to look
exactly
up. It's
what
just,
you think they are.
Ooh, this one makes me introspective. I need to say something.
Yes. Bring it on.
No,
Bring on the
I need
introspection.
to say something. I need to figure out something to say. It's like, this one just made me go, I hated ballads because I like all the up-tempo stuff. I like
What
all
was the last song they
exciting
played at
things.
all the school dances you went to?
This one probably. I don't know.
Business. Who did this?
I could probably ask on
Ziggy is making
Facebook.
you his business right now.
Somebody else probably remembers better than I do.
Who did All By Myself? Oh, Eric Carmen. Still going.
Myself. Everybody needed a ballad, man.
Alright, well.
Yeah, so the Culture Club girls would listen to your album and maybe buy it. Hi.
Right.
This song is probably like the only reason I knew who Bon Jovi was for a long time.
The one I remember from a few years before this was the Scorpions. They were from Germany, and they even knew to have a ballad on their album.
Thank God this is not the Scorpions.
I'm just saying, at least they knew to have a ballad on their album, so Chris would maybe buy it.
Yeah.
Although the Scorpions do...
I mean, do you know how far away on the spectrum this is?
Here I am!
This is
Rock
so
you like
far
a
away
hurricane.
from Lisa, and Cult Jam is nowhere near these guys on the spectrum of music.
No, they're nowhere near each other. Good call.
How else is Bon Jovi going to get me to listen to their stuff?
That is an observation.
You said a thing.
I don't have anything here.
thing was
There
said.
we go. I can throw this.
Ow! Jesus!
And now Brett is dead. Now we get to listen to Aerosmith.
Oh, no.
Dude, looks like a lady.
Well, that's not Gone Bon Jovi.
Why does every beer commercial sound like a Jack White song?
Because that's what
Because
they
Jack
think is
White's a
cool
genius
now.
when he's not screwing around doing whatever that last album was.
Scorpions. They have my favorite rock lyric of all time, which is, "The bitch is hungry."
She needs to kill.
So stupid.
So give her inches and feet at will.
In case Jack White ever listens to this, I love you, Jack
You do a good
White.
German
I think
accent.
you're a genius. But that last album was a stinker, and I'm just going to keep saying it.
He's never listening.
Do better.
To this.
Be
But-
better.
I am the excellent Klaus Main,
Hashtag be better.
lead singer of the Scorpions.
Hashtag be best.
I love you. I'm your guy. I'm the guy you write for.
We
Do
love
better
you
than
best.
that.
We
that
love you
album
best.
sucked. I want to decide who gets all my money.
All right.
Because I have so much money to give
I know
away.
this is boring, but
This is
let's
so-
land this
All
All right.
plane.
What is this song called?
Walking in the street.
Oh, dear God. It's even got a stupid name.
Wild in the street.
Yeah, it's a throwaway
It's a throwaway
Springsteen
song,
ripoff.
but
Let's hold
throwaway
on.
name.
I want to. Actually, let me see.
It's a throwaway. Listen to it.
I'm focusing.
It's a throwaway
making love in the
Springsteen
backseat.
song.
We were wild.
Yeah.
Wild in the streets.
Yep.
We were
Okay.
wild.
It's also got that horrible chimey keyboard sound,
Yeah.
but with none of the dramatic build-up that Springsteen was good at.
Right, but you could totally see how in 1986 you totally went to this concert.
Let's talk about Springsteen since it came up. I'll be
Careful.
No, because this made me think. Like in different hands, it sucks. Because I don't like a lot of Springsteen's production in the '80s. Just like the way the songs are produced, a lot of it's like not. A lot of it got pretty dated, I think. But the songwriting did not. Like so, it withstands that. But like in Bon Jovi's hands.
He went
like-
totally 80s.
It's like it's technically still the same sound.
This is totally yeah.
But
You're
he's a
absolutely
god-awful
right.
songwriter.
This is a bad Bruce Springsteen ripoff.
All right, let's just—it's ending, and I don't want to talk beyond this. All right, I'm giving this one Bon out of 3 Jovis. That's my rating.
Woo, that's
This wasn't as bad.
mean.
This wasn't as bad. That's like a 33%. That's not bad.
He doesn't like poppy things.
This
Yeah,
wasn't.
he doesn't.
He doesn't like happy music.
This was
I know.
a hell of a lot
Let's
better.
listen to XTC and see what
rowdy.
he thinks about that.
He wants to listen to his cool old people jazz.
This was a hell of a lot better than Poison. A hell of a lot better.
Right.
I'm not really sure if that's a decent comparison, but
It's a little more complicated. Is that what you mean? Like the arrangements are a little more
there's
arrangement.
actual songs.
Someone actually worked on it.
And I'll add in an extra like half of a percentage I'll add in like an extra few bonus donuts if we had listened to this at full volume, because I can tell it should technically be exciting. It's just that we're listening to it.
We're not supposed to be able to talk
right,
over this. It's
so,
supposed to be so loud we can't really talk.
You're supposed to be jumping up and down.
But still at the same
which
time.
I can do.
Doing 80 dancing.
It's weird
80s
when it's
dancing.
just the three of us.
Okay, so
dancing,
you have to factor in that. So let me reevaluate. I give it
All right.
rewinding. I give it 1.5 bonds out of 3 Jovis.
I think that's the same thing you said the first time.
Oh no, it's way an improvement.
And we're rewinding.
So when was the last time either of you ever listened to this all the way through?
Not since about 1987.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like about 1986.
How does this hold up in your adult imagination?
The entire album? No,
I agree with that.
I had the album.
Suddenly jumped to 55
I have the album, so I just skipped to the songs I wanted to listen to. I didn't even buy tapes. I bought albums. So,
so we had it on tape, and I listened to it all the way through every time because that was Ben's time on the thing. And Ben, seriously, like and subscribe to the damn podcast, will ya?
You son,
you
son
suck,
of a bitch.
you son of a bitch.
Well, if he's not like and subscribe, he won't even hear this.
Oh, he'll hear about it.
So I can snip
Trust me.
I gave you a shout out at the end, mother.
I can edit this down to a soundbite and then email it to him.
There you go.
Okay.
So, but my point is, I've heard the album. I heard it many times all the way through because it was a road trip, and those were the rules.
And what's your review while he sighs?
I think for me, it holds up. I enjoyed it. There are some snoozers on here that I would skip if I had my druthers. I would say there are 4 snoozers out of what?
I don't know how many songs.
We decided there were 10 because there weren't 11.
So you give him 60%?
I give him 60%, which is, as albums go, that's an A. That's maybe a B, but that's a solid B.
I was going to say, I'd easily give him a 60% of the album is good.
Well, let me revise, because
nobody knocks every song out of the park.
Because they somehow kept it like right above the surface. Like
you never got violently angry about it.
No, it never sank below that. They kept like the yay, we're trying to be exciting in our concert thing going long enough where I never sank into just sheer dejection. So I'll add on another little bonus nugget.
Another half a bond out of 3 Jovis.
So
that would end up. He would end up giving them a
50...
66%. Then that would be above us, and I
give it like a 59.8.
Solid B. I'm saying that's an 8.
2.
Well, I mean,
Sweet Ziglet, you're being so nice.
If you're judging like which songs you like and everything, I always feel like 6 songs out of 10 are
final thoughts.
Pretty good.
Wait, Jason didn't get his final thoughts yet.
No, I did.
Land the plane.
Land the plane.
I basically had the same thing as you. 6 out of 10. Yeah, I was feeling like.
Which now that we've done this podcast 20 some odd times, I have 6 out of 10 is awful good.
Yeah. The Beatles are like 10 out of 10.
Well.
Or, like 20 out of 10. They're like...
Yeah.
You just go, do they get extra points? Can I give away extra?
If we're going like hyper-realistic ratings, it's like a 5.872222.
So it didn't make you ill. You weren't physically ill. And you don't even like pop music. So it's like... You like avant-garde...
Hey everybody, can I just say, thanks for listening to our podcast. We have so many great listeners.
We love you all. We love you so much.
I know we have those 5 listeners, and 3 of them are me editing the podcast.